I went into The Hitman expecting it to be like David Fincher's The Killer from last year. Because I mean, I saw the announcement for this movie. I know it came out in like festivals prior, but like the time I saw this movie was when that film got released. And those films could not be any different from each other. This is a very colorful film, and in the kind of way that Dumb Money from last year was also really colorful. And I'm just going to start off by saying it's a really good film, and if you haven't watched it, just go and watch it right now. It's on Netflix, and it's basically about this guy played by Glen Pow Wow that does undercover police work, part-time though, and takes down people that need a hitman to obviously kill other people. I didn't even know this is a kind of thing you can do in America. Can you just like apply? Can anyone just apply for like part-time job with the police? Bit strange. But yeah, I was expecting this film to always have that one twist and that one action sequence, something bad goes down and all that action happens. But this film never has that. Like the only time we see a gun shot in this movie is when we're at the gun range. And that's what I meant by saying that this film is colorful. It's just a fun film and I love it for that. And just leading me on this action twist that never happens. I also think watching Thelma and Louise before watching this movie just was on my mind. And I was just expecting these guys to just go on their crazy rampage. But Glen Powell stars in this as well as co-writing this screenplay, which I never knew he had it in him. Never saw him as a writer, but he was definitely the star in this, and he really let his wings fly here. Because some of the other stuff I've watched him in, either he was the shadow, like a supporting cast member, or he was just not in a really good film. But here he was incredibly funny, and I just love the personality he brought out in this protagonist. Also at the start, where he goes in with these different personalities tailored for the person ordering a hit, and also seeing like the person's motive of wanting that hit. I think all of that in the movie was super fun to see, and it slips up that question that asks you, is what Glen Powell is doing, is that a good thing? Because sometimes it seemed like he will push these guys to their wishes, and these guys will sometimes have no idea, like they don't have an idea of what they're doing. Like there's a moment where we see like a boy wanting to kill his mother. I just wish like the movie drove a bit deeper in the morality of what he was doing. But yeah, the film did include parts that technically had that. Like my personal favorite parts were when they were in the courtroom and he was there as like a witness or whatever. I did enjoy those parts, but there were also some parts that it kind of pulled away from the main story where like he was talking in school. I don't know if it was still in respects to what he was doing, because they were talking about the justice system and everything. But hey, that's a story for another day. I don't want to get political. And as previously mentioned, I was expecting this movie to have like a twist or something to drive up the stakes and just drive up the level of action, I guess. But that never happened. And see, I'm not even mad about it because it was still a really fun time, and it kept putting Glenn and Adria. Also really good chemistry between the both of them, like chef's kiss. But the film kept driving itself forward with these crazy situations that they were put in. There's this one that even happened, and I was looking at this guy that we saw a couple scenes earlier, and I see the same guy and I'm like wondering, have I not seen you in something before? And I was like, oh, it's the same dude. Like those crazy situations, those twists and turns, the film just had to just make me engage with the story. It's a very linear story, and I mentioned it did have a couple parts that took me away from it, but overall it was a blast. And there was a scene with him and his ex. What was the essence of that scene? Other than that, great watch, and the switch up from Adria's character is just hilarious. Thank you for watching this video. Check out another video of mine.